All right, we're gonna call to order the regular meeting of the Palomino Valley General Improvement District for September 18th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Roll call.
Nevada Story.
Marshall Todd.
Julie Osborne.
John Patterson, we have a quorum. Public comment on matters not listed on the agenda. Okay. Approval of minutes. The approval of minutes for August 21st, 2025, regular meeting.
I move that we approve the minutes.
I second
We have a motion, a second, all in favor?
Second.
Aye.
it.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried, minutes approved. Review of bills and other financial matters, transaction report.
All right, so for the invoices, we did have the Quaking Aspen project. So there was a bill in there to approve for CR Rental to sign the check for tonight for $26,000. Comes out to $26,111.46 for all of the invoices. And then there was three invoices also from Western Nevada Materials for the Class E for Quaking Aspen as well. And those invoices were already paid. So those are just for approval. Everything else was just our standard monthly invoices. For the net ops report, there is two reports tonight. One goes through August 31st, and then the next one starts for September 1st for the new year. So we did have a difference on there for the August 31st, the consolidated CTX tax. The payment that was cut in half in December, they ended up paying out in September, so it's on the second report. So it does show that we didn't receive all of the funds for 24-25 fiscal year, but we are going to be a little over for 25-26. So that was something to note for last year, and then also for fiscal year. You'll see a note at the bottom of page 1 here. For 2025, we spent $513,760 on road maintenance and improvements, and that was $221,700 more than last year. So there was quite a significant increase that we actually got to do towards the roads. And so then they're all listed out there, the seal coat project and the different aggregate surfacing projects that we did. So then on the operating report for 25-26, we are estimating about $914,000 for additional revenue expected through the end of the year. With all of the expenses accounted for, we should have about $614,000 to spend come the end of the year for the reserves.
And that's through August of next year.
August of next year,
Okay.
correct. Those are those two reports. And then on the transaction report, we did receive, like I said, we got two consolidated tax report funds from the state. One was for the remaining from last year's issue, and then for this year. We did the first payment for the ad valorem from Washoe County is always the largest disbursement. So we got $163,000 from them already. And then everything else was just our typical monthly invoices that were paid in the transactions that go through. Those are those.
Good. So, in case I missed something there, we have bills to pay still, right?
Right, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion. Oh, I'm sorry, public comment on any of that?
I was just curious if we took the discount for Tiger.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Any other public comment? Okay, I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, so judicial government affairs, we have none. Road reports, road operations, and maintenance reports.
All right. Well, we finished a few roads out there, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to find it. anyway, bottom line is that all of our work was pretty much on quaking aspen. All right, found it finally. My bad. So we ended up finishing up that. I know that's gonna be coming up in a minute too, but we also graded quite a few roads this period too, considering we had a short in-between meetings this time for the ops report. Again, did some screening too at the Ironwood pit to prepare for quaking. A little bit on the equipment. Compactor's just getting old and wore out. All of our hoses seem to be not liking each other anymore, so we've been getting a lot broken, a lot of them fixed up. But if there's any other questions, you let me know.
Any board members have a question?
I don't have a question, but thank you for getting all that, especially about quaking aspen.
Well,
Were you guys in Yellowtail last week?
oh yeah, yeah, but it's not on this one.
Got it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird the way it works, but.
Any public comment on the road operations and maintenance report? Nope, okay. Moving on to the aggregate servicing projects.
Hey, look at that. So I'll have that back. So technically, for those that did get some stuff sent to them, I was off. My chart was off a little bit. I missed a truck, but all in all, we came in at a couple $1,000s over on that project. But when it really comes down to the whole scope of all of the projects, we're still doing okay. We did also do the second part of quaking aspen from O'Hara to Ansari. We did place the DG on that about 50 yards. And then we graded from Ansari all the way to the end of maintenance at Mountain Aspen. So that road is complete at this time.
Any questions from the trustees?
I do have a question. Good job in the estimation of the base. But why did it only cost about 27% of your estimate for upper quaking aspen on the DG? And maybe you can explain it to me because I don't understand. If we're using our own product, what was the estimate of $6,800 for? Was that trucking?
It basically, in the day, they wanted to come up with how much it cost for us to screen our own material. So I came up with a dollar amount. So, and the way I base that road is I also have a system to when I'm doing the E, it's usually an 18 to 20 foot road. And I didn't calculate the single. So it's going to be half of what I normally would do. It was just again, one of those numbers that I just threw in there. That's all.
Got it. Thank you.
Any public comment on the aggregate surfacing projects? Quite a group. Moving on. Okay, unfinished business. And I'll say it too, I told Sean before the meeting, thank you for getting all our projects done this year. The pavement, the aggregate, all that stuff we've been talking about since last December. We started coming up with roads to do and putting it all together. All done, and we did a lot this year, so thanks for getting the in-house portion done and run the pavement project for us. Okay, so unfinished business, review of updated board members handbook and possible first reading of resolution number F25-R1. So this is, obviously you guys have been doing this for a month or two. This project started about a year ago. And Kathy, with input from a couple of board members, and we're going back and forth with me on it a few times. We brought some stuff to the board last month. And so what we did is we put in your handbook or your packet highlight some of the changes. Just to give you an example of the changes that we did. Just to highlight some of the, I guess, the big changes. And the other thing is, so there was some language changes we talked about last week. And so after hearing from board members, trustees, most of it was okay. But the one thing that we want to talk about is mainly 1 and 2 in this board member handbook update sheet. So we had some more stringent language last week. And what we're going to do is we're going to say, if you guys are okay with the changes in 1 and 2, then we're going to motion to accept those changes to the board handbook, and I'll read the resolution. If the board's not okay with the changes in 1 and 2, we're going to go with current language, and we're going to read the resolution. So that's the plan today. So basically, the more stringent language was changed to current language, which says primary contact person / supervisor for the operations manager. So that's current language. So we went back to that. And we softened some other language that says, okay, so we softened the language in number 2, where some trustees thought it was a little too stringent. So I suggested we go to questions or concerns about the day-to-day operations should be directed to the road maintenance operations manager, primary contact person, supervisor, who, as we know, it's either the president or the president's designee. And so I think that language solidifies the chain of command without being too harsh. I was hearing last month with the old language that's listed above. And it says should, not must. So it's not totally putting a stranglehold on the board. It's just kind of referencing for the trustees that the chain of command has to work in that way to deflect the chaos that comes when it doesn't, that we saw a couple of years ago. So if you guys were okay with those language changes, and if you have any comments or questions, we'll do that now.
I'm okay with it.
No, I'm fine.
Julie?
I'm okay with it as well. Thank you for softening up that language.
I knew you'd like it. See, I knew you'd like it. Okay, any public comment? Okay. So first off, I'm going to make a motion to approve the language changes in item 1 and 2. I want to screw this up. If I screw it up, Kathy could probably text me and say I'm screwing it up. No, she'll text me and say, John, no. Yeah, because all the other
It's
things
just
were
number 2,
approved.
right?
Yeah, the second,
Just
yeah,
number 2.
So it's just 1 and 2.
yeah, the second option on 2,
Okay,
put that in.
okay. So I'm going to make a motion to approve the second option on item number 2 for the board members handbook update.
A second.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, that motion carried. Now, it's been a while since I've done a resolution. I'm going to read this resolution, and we'll do another reading of it next month. And after I read it, I'm going to look for public comment, and then I'm going to motion to accept the first reading. Fair enough? This is a big deal. This board handbook's about 10 years out of date, so this is huge. Palomino Valley, first reading, regular meeting, September 18, 2025. Palomino Valley General Improvement District, resolution number F25-R1. Resolution adopting the 2025 update of the board members handbook. Whereas the Board of Trustees adopted the first board members handbook as its policies and procedures manual on December 9, 2010. And whereas there have been numerous revisions to the board members handbook over the years, including the addition of new resolutions that have been approved by the board. And whereas the Board of Trustees acknowledged the need for a comprehensive update of the board members handbook. Now therefore be it resolved that the 2025 update of the Palomino Valley General Improvement District Board Members Handbook supersedes any prior board members handbook revisions and any previously adopted policies and procedures manuals. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall be attached to the minutes. Upon a motion by trustee, second by trustee, Fulham, resolution is passed, adopted by the Board of Trustees. So I'm going to make a motion to adopt the first reading.
I'll second it.
So we have a motion and a second.
Aye.
Public comment. Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. All right, new business. We're going to do the Washoe County School District bus routes on PBGID maintained roads. Okay, so what we got here is, the General Improvement District in 2021, I believe, the letters sent by the districts in the packet. To the school district in Washoe County, kind of wanting Washoe County to stay on their paved roads for the school buses. Right? Keep the school bus routes on the paved roads. That's what we said in 2021. So there's been some pushback from some folks who are valid, right? So basically, after hearing it again last month, it's quick and simple, right? They said, okay, we're going to draft a letter to where we can rescind the first letter, or we can stand pat with our current position of 2021. And so we have a letter that Robin drafted for me, that if you guys want to do that, we'll just motion to send a new letter to Washoe County School District, basically in line with the language of the new letter, or we can stand pat in the red letter. And you guys have any comments?
I think it's a good idea to have Washoe County School District go as far as they can on our roads to pick up kids.
Yeah, I agree. Take it back the way it used to be. Look,
Okay, I just have one more thing, public comment.
I just want to make sure that they are able to go back to the order. My name is Karen Chester. The bus came all the way up in the my bank down here after. The bus is always came in my short driveway until the first year I moved. And now I'm driving 30 miles a day, 150 miles a week, just to get to the bus stop. When the Washoe County Transportation states that no child should have to walk more than 1 mile to get on the bus. 2 miles for middle school, 3 miles for high school. There's new language on the transportation. I just want to make sure how, when I called and complained to them, 6 years ago, they said that the GID will not allow them to use the and so I just want to make sure that who do we talk to make sure they go back to it.
yeah, it's right there.
This will be good enough to be able to call Walker County School District and that's how stuff.
I'll just respond to the public comment to the board. We would send the letter as a district. Beyond that, we have no control over the school bus routes. And we're We're sending the old language so they can do what they want. We have no control over it. But we're not stifling their efforts to go wherever they want. And
I appreciate the letter
that's all we can do as a district.
6 years ago. You just looking
George?
George Boyd for the record. I don't understand, you say to stay on the paved road. Rangeland is not paved, and they go down it every day and pick up kids. So I don't understand, you tell them something in the letter, but yet they violate the letter. So something's wrong here, that they can go down Rangeland, which is not paved, and pick up kids. So somewhere along the line, there must be some miscommunication between this board and the school district of what they can do and can't do.
And because I like George, I'm gonna put his mind at ease. They didn't hear this from me because I wasn't the lawyer of the GID in 2021. And basically what the letter was stipulating in the past is if the roads are, obviously they go down Rangeland because there's kids that get on the bus there, and that's not a paved road. So it didn't keep them from doing that. It was more, I think, in Axe Handle and on the east side of the valley where we have some hard surfaces. So we weren't keeping them from being on. So, any other public comment? I just have one change to make for you.
Okay.
And if the board agrees, I just want to do the second paragraph in the letter. The PBGID confirms school buses may use dirt roads, blah, 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 right? I kind of want to change that.
Okay.
I kind of want to change it to, and it'll be in the report. The PB, listen to this, guys, because this is what we're going to wish on if you guys agree, and Julie. The PBGID leaves control of the bus routes to the sole discretion of the school district. However, the PBGID does request that all school buses maintain the 35-mile-per-hour speed limit.
Like, I do too.
Okay,
I like it.
and that's the letter, and once you draft it, scan it to me and I'll send it if they pass it. I'll make a motion to send the new letter with the amended change I just said.
Second.
You got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion carried. So within a week, the school district will have that.
I will send it to you tonight so I can send it out tomorrow.
Perfect. Is that overtime?
Yeah.
No, for you, not for me.
No, but is it overtime for me?
You can, well,
Yeah, you can-
they'll pay you
Yes,
twice what you
yeah.
I'm
make.
reading emails at 10 o'clock.
Extra overtime.
Okay, I'll send it to you at 5 in the morning.
Triple time.
5 in the morning is more likely anyway.
Okay, so. Hold on, bear with me.
Did you find it?
Got it.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so the next item is, this was a letter sent out by Larry Johnson, the president of the GID, in April of 2020. And just so there's no confusion for the trustees and the operations crew, I wanted to put this on the agenda, have this letter as part of the supporting documents, so we as a board can interpret how we're gonna interpret this letter and move forward with it. And if we want to keep it, right? So the item is Washoe County authorization by PBGID to use Ironwood Way. So the letter sent in 2020 says the Palomino Valley General Improvement District hereby authorizes the Washoe County Roads Division the use of the district's Ironwood Road water truck fill station. There will be no cost to the county for the water used, and therefore no need for you to keep track of the water used. So I'm just going to start off and say I interpret that this is solely for Washoe County employees, trucks, just Washoe County. Yeah, nobody working for Washoe County, just Washoe County. No outside people, just that. And you guys know that, right? Cemetery's good. You know, the county takes some gallons from us, it's good for us, but, is that how you guys read it?
That's how I read it.
Perfectly fine.
Julie, is that how you read it?
It is how I read it. It is for Washoe County only and no other entity.
Okay. So, I think this is already in place, so I'm not even gonna make a motion, but
No.
I just wanted an understanding from the board and the crew on how we're gonna interpret this letter and our operation. Good? Any further comment? Good. All right, possible action on closed session for operations manager Sean Kelly, including but not limited to promotion, endorsement, engagement, retention, termination, suspension, demotion, reduction in pay, level amount, and no action. Okay, a lot of options there. So, based on our agenda we sent out, everybody knows we have a closed session at 5:00. And so, I'm just gonna go with what board wants to discuss this, and then we'll ask for public comment. If, what of those, is a recommendation of the trustees of all those many 25 options? I'll tell you what, I can't do promotion. So, we can take that one off the list. So, what do you guys got? Anything else?
Marshall Todd for the record. I think we got it settled in the closed session. Yeah, it was a communications issue, so. What do you think?
Me?
Yeah.
You know, I just think maybe just write up. I think that would be the my suggestion, is write up.
Julie?
Them off the record? Yeah, they'll do it.
Julie? Julie?
I'll agree with Nevada and suggest a write-up.
Want public comment?
I just wanted to say, I don't know,
Can you say your name?
Brandon Wolf.
Thank you.
I just wanted to introduce myself to you guys. I'm the new guy that works at the road department. My name's Brandon, and I just wanted to say I'm just here like supporting him. He's a great boss, and I've had a great experience here, and that's all I got to say. Nice to meet you guys. I didn't know, I've never been in a meeting like this, so I didn't know when or what I was supposed to know.
Well, they're a lot quicker now. That's the key. Okay, so.
Not so much for
Any other public comment? Well, if you guys make a motion,
I move that we handle that matter with a memorandum for record in the file.
then of a written warning.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
second.
second it.
Okay, so we got a motion and a second for just a written warning in the employee's file. Good? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Correspondence.
We had some correspondence this month. We received the certificate of liability insurance from SNC for our records. We also received our certificate of participation for cyber risk coverage. So basically anything that transpires on the computers, if something happens, it's covered. Received that. Then we received all the usual bills. We received the Citibank card. We received the Wells Fargo information from United Healthcare that Angie will get to the employees so that they know how to access everything. And one of the things that has to be done, and Angie will have to work with Sean on this, is that in order for her to access the credit cards, they have changed basically the way it's set up.
Okay.
Again, yes. And so she'll have to work with Sean to get access to those credit cards and Greg. And we received that information. And let's see what else. The bill from the attorney, and I got the well readings from Sean, and that's basically what we have.
Calendar.
Let me find my, okay, on the calendar for October, we have to do the renewal for Sam, and Kathy's already handled that. And she's setting me up to be able to do that next year. We'll have the first quarterly economic survey that needs to be signed in the October meeting. And I'll start working on the water rights extension with Kathy to get that done. And the last item I have is for Sean, and it's to winterize the roads. It's on my calendar from Kathy. And that's it. That's what I got.
All right, board member and staff items.
I have a couple.
Go ahead, Julie.
I would like to make it known that there's a pothole to the south of the dip near Wild Horse on Whiskey Springs Road. And I don't know if that can be, cold patch. I would imagine it can. Another thing, we talked about it last month, a calendar showing potential road work for the month. And that might be a good segue to the communications of what's going on in the month, with Nevada and Sean. And I was wondering if there have been any research about people paying for products put on their roads.
There has been. It is allowed, and they can specify.
They
Anything
can't
else?
specify.
They can specify.
Oh, okay.
It's basically a donation to the GID, but they can specify where those monies go.
Oh, thank you.
Anything else? No?
Okay. Another bump, did you decided things on that? Bump in the road.
They really recommend you don't do it.
Okay. That's fine.
You could probably get,
No, I want to do it.
but
I
they
wanna
would,
fix it.
they would prefer that if you decide you really want to do it, they would rather you went to the ethics committee and made sure that there is no issue. But they don't think it's a good idea.
I had shared previously that that's the only thrill I have left in my life.
So, I'm not discussing it, I'm just making a statement for one of Julie's comments. So the board knows, the current board knows. If you refer back, I've been on the board since almost 5 years. Twice since I've been on the board, it's been discussed and agendized about having a calendar for maintenance. And both times the board rejected it because it's not conducive to a road district in general, and it's not conducive to a road district, especially like ours, with so many surfaces and elevations. It's just too fluid of an environment to lock people down. So that's why it's not being addressed. But if anybody in the public or your board members want to go back and look at the old minutes, you'll see the discussion that the board's had twice in the 4.5 years, 5 years I've been on the board. So currently I'm not going to revisit that. But other than that, anything else? No?
I have one question before we close. Are you guys a paid audience? I haven't.
And so
Maybe
I'm
we'll
this
get-
audience
hold
with
on.
them all the time.
We might get something here. Public comment on matters not listed on the agenda.
There they go.
I knew
Oh,
something.
there you go.
Oh, here they go.
Jan Mortensen for the record. So for communication purposes and the public not knowing and need to know, would like to know, and see this person on the road and ask him if he needs help. Who is he? When did he come to work for us? And is he gonna stay?
That's yet to be determined. He's doing really good job, so.
Nice, so Brandon, could you like stand up and
Jeez.
Wow.
introduce yourself to the
Hello, I'm Brandon. I'm the guy in the radio. That's your rules is.
I wrote something on the board for you up there.
Wow. Even with that little heart.
You know, this is how politicians get started, you know?
And then, real quick though, just wanna, when did Brandon start?
June, yeah.
June 1st.
Okay. There you go.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? Deidre?
I had,
That's Deidre Irwin.
yeah. One, did you reiterate for the other two households what you had said to me earlier about this easement? And I had requested that Coyote Creek be put on the agenda. And in for that.
Any other public comment? No. So, what I did is, and I don't mind telling you guys, I spoke with Deidre before the meeting, because there was talk of above right-hand family, Tony Whiskey getting some work done, like on the Rocket Island Road, getting some patching and paving down in Central America. So, I told her it's my bad. This year, I actually drove up there with Sean, and I included the tonnage for that in the pavement work for patching, and the damage lower down, kind of, we had to pull back on it. And so, what I told Tweaker was, in next year's paving project, so I don't make that mistake again, right? I'm gonna put exactly where and the amount of tonnage specifically in that region. So it's dedicated by a vote of the board and the contract, that it can't be used anywhere else. And we'll come up with a tonnage at the time, so I'll give me a number, and I'll designate that in my proposal and spring to the board for the paving work. And then it'll be set in stone if the board approves the project, and then we'll get done by June of next year. Other than that, I got nothing to say. Any other public comment? No? Oh, yeah.
Future everyone. Wanted to know why nothing was said about Coyote Creek going to be addressed for grading it.
And on Coyote Creek, all I saw was a road request so far. And I think
That's
that
all we've
came in
gotten.
about two weeks ago, something like that. Okay. So the road request Sean get tomorrow. You know, me, Nevada, and Sean are all sent to us. So, when the schedule allows, boom. But he was doing quite a bit of that with it.
He was doing Quaking Aspen. which
If-
very
if I may.
appreciated.
No, but as far as I took a drive up there the other day to check on trees. And as you get to the top, that last section, there's a bunch of pine trees just before the turnaround on the right that are encroaching on the road, and the main overhanging trees are still too low for a turnaround up there.
All right, well, that's where we're at right now. Go ahead. Public comment. We're just doing public comment.
Okay, Steve Short, 1700 Coyote Creek Road. Where do you turn around at your blade up there?
We can do that after the meeting.
No, I'm
Yeah,
just,
that's just public
curious
comment.
because at one time, they run that grader all the way up to, Dave Luke's property, which is,
2255,
okay, 2355.
22.
Then for some reason, when they decided to forget about us up there, they didn't grade the road forever. And then when they came back, they turned around right there by Rick and Yvonne's place. And they said, oh, well, we never did that, which they did because Edie's dad and me, we were up there watching them one day, talking about it, talking to them, you know? And so all of a sudden you guys pulled back. And if a lot of that property up there, there's people who own that property who don't live there. Up wherever they live, Georgia or whatever, and say, hey, you gotta come down here and trim your trees. 30 feet each side of the road. Doesn't that put? I mean, I can't fence off onto the easement. You can say my trees that are on the easement, which is technically yours, is keeping you from grading the road. And before you sit there and say, okay, the center of the easement here on the road, we all know that has never been surveyed. That road was cut and it was just, okay, here it is. Supposedly it's here. But if you go out and survey it like they did survey Paiute Creek and found out, oh, this isn't exactly where the original road was cut before, because a few years back, we couldn't, you wouldn't grade Paiute because there was one section that the existing road that you see going up to the water tower there, water tank, that wasn't the existing road. The road was supposed to cut off to the right, loop back. And that was when Louis was the attorney here. And me and him, we've known each other. You know, before you tell me, well, we'll get out and measure the place before you tell us to move the fences. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Steve, any other public comment?
Yeah, Rick Sumner up at 2150. I believe right at my property is where they used to turn around. We've got two roads there, together before the big turn. You get up there in the garbage trucks, dump my garbage and then make a left and turn a 2100 to 2000 and connect back into the main road. So if there's a tree up hanging over, interfering, I'd like to have it identified. I'll take care of it. That's all that's bringing that part up. So that's my request.
Any other public comment? It all right, adjournment. Any motion to adjourn?
I second.
Okay, motion and second, adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned at 6:45. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mayor.